Welcome to Divorce to Dynamite. I'm Michelle O'Neill. My guest today is KJ Johnson. She has the best, my favorite charity. I've given so much to her, Dress for Success DFW. Let me tell you what, they have been, and I know all you ladies out there are probably the same way I am. Man, I gain weight, I give her clothes. I lose weight, I give her clothes. I read Marie Kondo's book, I give her clothes. I clean out my closet, I give her clothes. My husband fusses at me for spending too much on clothes, I give her clothes. I give her clothes. So, and all the women out there that are going through hard times and need something to go to an interview and get themselves leveled up, I give her clothes. So welcome to the show, KJ.
Thank you.
I am so thrilled. I do not understand, with as many friends as we have in common,
I know
how we have never met.
I know.
I don't know.
I have no idea, but I am so glad that we are now connected.
I am filled
Yes.
with gratitude that you are here in this room. And I even had a God moment and ordered yellow flowers.
Look
for
at
you.
there. Look at there. In fact, I need to take them with me when we leave.
Well, if you stay until I'm finished today, you can do that.
can
But
take
it's
them
going to
with
be
me.
a couple of hours. So
Right. Sounds good.
yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah. No, they match you perfectly, and it was
Thank
just a
you.
God moment that they're here for you.
Yes.
And I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Tell me, let's start with your background. Tell me
Okay.
about how you kind of got to this place.
Sure. You know what? It's an interesting story, right? So I was actually a sales instructor for 30 years in corporate America. So I tell people that no matter who you are, we are selling every day.
Every
A lot of
day.
times people don't realize that, right? But we sell all day, every day.
We sell ourselves.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And so in 2016, I actually started my own company. At the time, it was called KJ Strategy Design Studio, where I helped women, right, start their business. And I also spoke, right? So I did speaking engagements as well. And during that time, I was doing some contracting work with different organizations, right, still helping their sales organizations with sales. And just so happened, a young lady and I follow each other on social media. And a board position became available for Dress for Success Dallas. And her and I had never met, but because we follow each other on social media, she saw something right on my page, just about who I am online, and said, hey, you know what, I think this would be a great opportunity for you. She said, read the mission statement. And then what I also like, Michelle, that she said, pray about it.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that for me did it.
God works in mysterious ways.
Right. So of course I went and read the mission and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so in alignment with who I am. Right. So let me check it out. So during my interview, I later learned that they were texting each other saying yes.
They were helping God out.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Texting is one of God's methods of communication.
Exactly. I love that. And so I was, approved to be on the board. And then it became time for the first board meeting. And so we had the first board meeting, we had an interim ED, and she was asked to introduce herself there was a couple of us that were new board members. And unfortunately, she didn't introduce herself. She began somewhat complaining, and I believe she was just overwhelmed with the amount of work. We were reopening our doors after the pandemic, and she was like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, right? So she just kind of went down this path, and I was aware of all of those things, the board members had shared. Again, we were just reopening after
Sure.
the pandemic.
I'm sure the pandemic was tough.
Oh,
it was tough.
it was
on
really, absolutely.
All charitable organizations.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So what she wasn't expecting next was that the board president said, well, is this your resignation? She ended up resigning. So she did say yes. And so we thanked her for her service. And so when she got off the call, we said, now what we gonna do? Right? Because
Right.
board members are just
And then they all looked at
volunteers.
you.
No, you know what? I did what Sheryl Sandberg does, right? The book that she wrote, right? Lean In.
I love that.
I do
Why,
too.
See, again, why don't we know each other?
I don't know. But we do now.
Yes, ma'am.
So I raised my hand and I said, you know what, I can do that. I mean, I have my own business. As long as I have my laptop, I can work from anywhere.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what happened. So probably a month later, the board president came and said, "Hey, KJ, we found our new executive director." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm running to the office to get to my laptop because I'm thinking we're going to interview somebody, right? And so she said, "Oh, no. It's you."
Oh.
And I was like, "What?"
Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wait a minute.
But I absolutely loved it. You know what I'm saying? So I was the interim ED for the remainder of that year back in 2021. So it was June to December. And in December, they offered me the full-time position. So I became the executive director in January 2022. Yes.
Now, do you still have the other business also?
I do. It now has changed to the Confident Woman.
I love it.
Confident Woman with a K, not a C, because I'm KJ. There you go.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. So you're kind of like me. You have multiple hats and you wear them all at the same time.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Which is what women do, right? And we always have done that. Yeah.
But they're all in alignment. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean, it's helping women build confidence in all sorts of ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me what the mission is of Dress for Success.
Yeah, so our mission simply is to help women achieve economic independence. And we do that, right, through providing them support. We do that by providing them career development tools such as resume writing, mock interviews, building that LinkedIn profile, job search strategies, right? We even have employers, right, who provide us their job vacancies, right? So hopefully, right, we can try to fill those. But then after that, right, of course, we do provide them with 2 interview outfits. And I love to say this, right, because it's not just the suits. They also get 2 blouses. They get a pair of shoes. They get a brand new bra. They get 3 pieces of accessories, right? And then we give them a handbag. And then we have companies like Kohl's, CVS, JCPenney's who donate to us their unused toiletries. So we provide them 1 of each. And in addition to that, so while they're on their job search, we're doing personal or professional workshops. So every month, right, we're putting on a variety of workshops. And so for every 3 workshops that they attend, they get 2 more outfits. Right. And when they land a job, we give them 5 more outfits. Right. So our goal really is to stay with that woman for about 18 months to 2 years until she's truly up on her feet.
That is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I mean, I love that. And so what type of woman is qualified for receiving that type of service?
I love this question.
Yes, ma'am.
A woman, a person who identify as woman, 18 and up, actively looking for work.
Period.
That's it. That's
Like,
it.
she doesn't have to fill out a financial statement.
No.
She doesn't
Right?
She doesn't have to qualify for government benefits.
No.
Right?
No.
She doesn't. I mean, it could be just any woman who needs you.
Any woman who needs us.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. So you could have been a stay-at-home mom. You raised your kids, and now you need to go to work. Right.
Or a woman after divorce. Who finds herself needing to figure it out.
Absolutely, right? Or who she was at home, right? Or she was at working, then she went home, right, to take care of the kids, right?
And then ended up with Sally, the secretary.
Exactly, right. And so now she has to get back to work. So any woman, she could be graduating from high school and decide not to go to college, right? Or she could be a college graduate who's been in sweats for the last 4 years, right? And needs to get out into the workforce. So again, just any woman. But what we find ourselves really is serving, women that are going through a divorce, could be domestic violence, unfortunately, homeless shelters, right? And a lot of our women, they end up being, it's like 95% that ends up being a single mom, right? They have 2 or more kids.
So a statistic that I find very meaningful is that 1 out of 3 unmarried mothers is in poverty.
Yes.
And that is not just struggle bus. I mean, that is poverty.
No, poverty, for real.
And that just, I mean, when I heard that statistic, like it didn't just blow my hair back. Like it just blew my entire body back. Like, wow.
Yes.
And I mean, in my day job, not here on this podcast, but my day job is a divorce lawyer, and to think that we have that many moms out there, single moms living in poverty, and then however many more of them living in the struggle bus, that need help, that it just makes my day that there is a group out there like your group that can help those women who need it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because one of the main things that they need is their confidence rebuilt.
Yes. That was
Right?
actually going to be my next question.
Yes,
That's
yes.
exactly. See, God is right here in this room, and you're picking up where I was headed,
Yes,
headed
yes,
right to you.
yes. And you know what? And rightfully so, right?
Yes.
Because the world has been shaken.
Yes.
Right? The things that they were
Absolutely.
accustomed to now is not anymore. And so now how do I navigate, right, this new life of mine?
Yes.
And I don't even know what that even means. You know what I'm saying? And then how do I keep it together for the kids? Right, because we as mothers, right, we definitely don't want to, things that we're going through. We try to shelter, right, our kids from that. So when you're thinking about that, and then also too, how do I put my life back together? Because a lot of times, right, if you were a wife, most women do this. They put their life to the side.
Yes, ma'am.
For their kids and for their husband.
Right. They
Right, and
they
so-
make the man the plan.
Yes. So when he leaves, it's like, now what? And so you don't have that confidence in yourself. And even if you were working at one time, you know what I'm saying? But now you're at home, you feel like, well, I know I did that before, but I don't know if I can do that today. Things have changed.
Right.
You know?
So speak to the alignment between helping them have an outfit to go on an interview and building their confidence.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you this, because I'm the only Dress for Success that does this. So when our ladies get dressed, right, and at the end of the day, when we get dressed, any woman get dressed, and you look in the mirror and you feel like you look good, you know how we do, right? We be like, hands on the hips, like we be doing all of that, right? So when
Let's
the
do
woman...
that together. Let's do that together. There you go. There you go.
So the minute they do that, my image consultants will come get me out of my office, right? And so right outside of my office is a long hallway that I've converted to the KJ catwalk.
Oh, girl.
So I put on Whitney Houston's I'm Every Woman, make them put their hands on their hips, head up in the air, and walk like they already have the job.
Oh, my
And here's
gosh.
the deal, Michelle, they cannot leave my office until they do it right, and they have to do it twice because they get 2 outfits.
Now, the marketer in me hopes that you are standing at the end of that hallway with your cell phone in vertical, doing all of that.
Absolutely.
And putting it on Instagram
Absolutely.
every single time.
Yes,
I
yes.
love
And
it.
then we're taking pictures,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, so we do all of that. So, because one thing that I tell people, right, is at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how great your resume look.
right.
If you can't demonstrate confidence to that hiring manager, you'll never be hired.
No, absolutely. I mean, as women, I did an episode about the gender pay gap.
Oh,
And the global statistic that women make 84 cents to $1 of men.
Right.
Black women
Yes,
make 64
that's
cents
right.
to the $1 of men.
Yes.
Latina women make 55 cents to $1 of men.
That's right.
And you know what surprised me the most?
What?
Comparing the global statistic, 84 cents to $1. College educated women
Yes.
make 79 cents to $1 of men,
Right.
but carry 67% of the student loan debt in America.
That's it.
Like we go to college on debt
Right.
to make even less,
Less.
than the standard of the
Exactly.
gender pay gap.
Yeah.
And those statistics just blow me away. And we can talk probably have a whole nother episode
on
or
that.
5 about why all those statistics
Exactly.
are. But I have to think that one component of it is that we don't go in there with the confidence to ask. They
Yeah.
said, what was it? The stat that was in that same article was that women ask for 30% less than
Yes,
man,
right.
Because of the confidence.
Yes. And it's so true. And you know this too, right? There's another statistic that talks about when a woman goes to apply for a job, she's going to look at all of the qualifications. And if she can't meet 1 or 2 of them, she will not even apply.
Not even
the
apply.
man ain't even looking at no
don't
qualifications.
care.
He just applied.
He just knows he
Right.
knows God gave him the talent.
Exactly.
He is endowed. With
Exactly.
The talent.
That's it. That's it. But But that's why.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean that is so much. I mean, we can say like, oh, it's all stacked against the women, or like men have this thing, or what. I mean, yes, I think there are some of those type of factors built in those pay gaps, but I do agree with you that some of it is just walking in the door with the confidence that I can do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm going to ask for it.
Yeah. And, and I tell people all the time, sometimes as mothers, we may not even realize how we are contributing to our little girls not having confidence, right? So for an example, if you have a boy and a girl and you go to the park, right? And Johnny gets on the jungle gym. You're not going to say nothing to him. Like, he can go just do that. But if Sally goes to the jungle gym, what do we tell her?
Be careful.
Be careful. Right?
Don't go too high.
Exactly.
Don't fall.
Don't fall. Right. Yeah. So we don't realize that those are things that are being planted into her to think that, oh, I shouldn't go for too much.
Yes.
Right. Be safe.
Yeah.
Right. So they apply that in all aspects of their lives, and we don't realize that.
That's such a good point. Wow, that's such a good point. But I also, I thought you were going a different place with that, but I also think that as mothers, we also forget that we carry the world in our tummies and on our backs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think we forget that
when
it comes to confidence.
We do.
Like when we're faced with a businessman or a negotiation or an interview.
Right.
Like when you think of it that way, that like, men are great.
Absolutely.
I don't have any problem with men.
Right.
Like they're great. They make, they're necessary in the world.
Yes.
But when you're in that interview situation and you're negotiating with a man, when you think like, whoa, wait, like women really make the world go round. Like,
no, we really do.
Like, we really do.
Yes.
We really carry the world on our backs and the world in our tummies, like front and back. Like,
yeah. And I'll tell you, part of our salary negotiation, which is zero, like, because we don't negotiate our salaries, but a lot of it is really around, again, being safe and not wanting someone to tell us no. Because as women, we generally want people to like us, and we're doing everything we can because we want everything all roses. Right? We don't want any problems. So we go in with the mindset of asking for low. Well, if I just ask for 55, because you've done your bills and your bills may pay out right at 50, and that's just a little bit over 5. So you think that that's okay. Whereas the man done asked for 95. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't want to feel like we're being greedy. Right. We don't feel, you know what I'm saying? So we go in with the bare necessities and not understanding that outside of your basics of what you need, you also need to be saving. You also, how you're going to buy your house, how you're going to, and today rent is $3,500 in here in the DFW area, right? And that's one of the things that we coach the women on that comes to our office, right? So what do you need, right? And so they're not used to hearing that. It's, well, what do you want, right? It's always just, what do you need? So you got to start thinking about that, and you're not being greedy. You know what I'm saying? But these are the mentalities that we have because that's how we've been taught. And we've been on scarcity for so long, right? So I'm just going to request exactly what I need versus what you want, which is a lot bigger.
Right.
So it's really just trying to help them understand that it's okay to ask for more. And this is one thing too that gets me too, because we love to say, well, I'm gonna do this and not apologize. You don't have to say you're not gonna apologize, just do it.
Girl, that is a soapbox I could get on for. Now, see, I think we're up to 10 episodes now. You're gonna have to come back 10 times because we found about 10 soapboxes. 10 topics. No, that apology thing is such a woman thing.
It is.
And it's one of those things. Whenever I have one of my staff members that works for me that kind of does that a lot. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you? I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I'll sit them down and I'll lecture them. I'm like, stop saying you're sorry. Right. Don't apologize for your space.
Yeah. Because what are you apologizing for? You didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a signature talk, right, that I usually share. I love to empower and coach women. So I teach us, right, that once you recognize, right, who you are, because the talk is called Who Do you think you are? Right? So I talk about all of the society expectations that they have of women, right, and all of those things. But I help us to understand that the W stands for warrior. The O is that we are an overcomer. The M is that we are a masterpiece. The A is that we are anointed. And that the N is that we are noble queen. So once you recognize who you are, you can go out and conquer the world.
I love that. So tell me, what geographic area Dress for Success DFW serves?
DFW.
Well, now, so, we just opened a new office for my law firm up in Frisco. So,
Yes.
the people in Frisco say it's now DFFW.
You know what? I'm gonna let you roll with that. That's fine.
Well,
Because
I mean,
Plano probably says that it's DFP. You know what I'm saying? And Irving said, they all are saying the same thing.
So my question is, like, Frisco, Denton,
Yes.
like, is it the
Yeah.
outer DFW?
Absolutely, yeah. We serve the entire Dallas Metroplex, even into Arlington, even into Fort Worth. It's a little bit more challenging for those in Arlington and Fort Worth. But look, let me tell you, there was a young lady who was determined. She caught the bus from Fort Worth.
Good for her.
Over here, you know what I'm saying? So, but I do try to do pop-ups right over in Arlington and Fort Worth to make it a little bit easier for them, because everybody don't necessarily have transportation. Lord knows you need it here in the Metroplex.
Right.
But yeah, we go, look, out to Waco.
Oh, wow.
Because the next closest Dress for Success is Houston, is Austin, is San Antonio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they try to keep us about 300 miles away from each other. So we serve that entire area.
And so if a woman needed help and wanted to get in contact with you, I
Yeah.
know we have a slide we're going to put up with your contact information, but
Sure.
how is the best way to get in contact with you and to reach out and get that help?
Yeah, so the best way to reach out, I would say to email us at boutiquecoordinator@dressforsuccessdallas.org.
All right.
Or they can call us at 972-392-9770.
And what if there's a woman out there like me that gains weight in a season and loses weight in a season, and then reads the Marie Kondo book and cleans out her closet, and then gets crap from her husband and cleans out her closet some more, and then her husband says, "What's all this with all these shoes, and you need to get rid of," and there's some handbags up here in the top of the closet.
I love it.
What if there's a woman like me out there that wants to donate?
Yes.
How can we do that?
Yes. So we accept donations every single Friday between the hours of 10 and 2. So no appointment is necessary.
All right.
So you can definitely do that. And if you bring a lot, in fact, we had a young lady who was a former CEO of a bank. She brought me 150 suits and 50 pairs of shoes. So if you need help bringing those items in when you arrive in our parking lot, just call us from the parking lot, and I can send a couple of volunteers out to assist you.
Women
Yes.
only clothes.
Women only, yes.
Is there a men's version of Dressed for Success?
So we usually refer you to One Man's Treasure and also Miles of Freedom.
Gotcha. Well, it has been absolutely a pleasure.
Thank you.
I am so grateful that you joined us today and that we got to learn more. I feel like we really could have 10 more episodes.
I
because we
agree.
have so many things that we could talk about. And I would love for you to come back.
I would love that.
So this has been Divorce to Dynamite. If you are a woman out there who needs to feel more empowered and confident with a K, and needs an outfit so that you can go interview for a job and feel confident and go get that job that you need after your divorce, Dressed for Success DFW is where you need to go, and KJ Johnson is your woman. So we've been happy that she's joined us. Join us next time. We'll see you then.